Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Caught on camera, a mask battle gets ugly at a local Menards. What one man says happened when he tried to tell security he couldn't wear a mask. Victor.
She's helping out the family of slain 6-year-old Tyrez Moore.
My mother instinct just kind of kicked in.
Coming up, see how she's planning on helping the community as a whole.
But we begin with breaking news. President Trump set to leave Walter Reed Medical Center after testing positive, of course, for coronavirus. We're looking live right now outside the hospital where the president, we are told, should be discharged in less than half an hour or so. And that comes just 3 days after the president was admitted to Walter Reed with the virus.
And it comes as White House doctors say the president may not be out of the woods just yet. President Trump tweeted this afternoon that he's feeling really good and urged Americans not to be afraid of the virus. Just yesterday, President Trump left isolation briefly to wave at supporters by motorcade outside the hospital.
Meanwhile, the virus continues to affect members of the president's inner circle, with Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany and 2 top assistants now testing positive for the coronavirus as well.
Throughout the pandemic, the White House has relied on rapid testing to protect the president from coronavirus. So what went wrong here? Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to explain why the answer can actually help make all of us safer. Dr. McGeorge.
Yeah, Kim, so I've talked before about the Swiss cheese approach to protection. Basically, each precaution is one piece of Swiss cheese. The holes represent the fact that none of these precautions are perfect. But if you layer the precautions on top of each other, you can block most of the holes. But if you only rely on a single layer, the virus can slip easily through. What went wrong? Why wasn't daily testing of those closest to President Trump enough? The answer is twofold. First, no test is 100% accurate. Rapid tests in particular tend to have a higher rate of false negatives. That's when someone tests negative but are actually positive. Rapid tests are cheaper and faster, making them more practical for screening people with no symptoms. But there is a real trade-off in terms of accuracy. It's important to note there is also a window of time after someone becomes infected when they may still test negative but have already become infectious. For those 2 reasons, relying on frequent testing alone leaves holes that the virus can slip through.
Come on up, family.
Let's take a look at the Rose Garden event, now believed to be the source of multiple infections. It was outside, which is better than inside, but there was no social distancing, to put it mildly.
I want to thank the members of the Senate. We have so many of them here today. Thank you very much. I see you in the audience.
Remember, being outside isn't magic. You still need additional precautions. If the number of guests had been smaller and people could have spaced out at least 6 feet apart, that would have added a layer of protection. Having everyone wear a mask would have further reduced the risk by limiting the amount of infectious droplets someone who was unknowingly infected would have breathed out. There was also a smaller indoor event attended by some of the guests. So why did some people get sick and others didn't? Well, there are a variety of factors at play. Even in families with the exact same exposure, some people become infected and others don't. We may learn more about why that's the case in the future, but right now it's impossible to predict who will become infected and who won't, making precautions important for everyone. Now, while none of us are going to be invited to the Rose Garden anytime soon, a wedding photographer actually remarked that those pictures look very similar to weddings that she's been asked to photograph lately. So the bottom line is, any single precaution we have is insufficient. They need to be layered on top of each other. That includes masks, social distancing, testing, and avoiding crowds.
Yeah. Something I've been wondering, Dr. McGeorge, are we any closer to knowing who may have been the source of the outbreak in the first place at the White House?
Wouldn't that be nice if it was? But, that information has not been made public if they have any idea. In reality, there may be more than one index patient. In fact, the more contacts there are, the harder the investigation is in general.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Doc, we appreciate it.
Let's get now to the latest in the coronavirus here in Michigan. Just into our newsroom, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has issued its own emergency order. It reinstates parts of the governor's previous executive orders. Masks are required at indoor and outdoor gatherings that involve people from different households. There are also specific gathering limitations that includes indoor gatherings of more than 10 and up to 500 people. Bars must close indoor common areas, and indoor gatherings are prohibited in most areas where alcohol is sold. This order is effective immediately, and it will remain in effect through October 30th. Now, meanwhile, the state announcing 1,407 new cases with 15 more deaths in the state. But keep in mind, the new model on Mondays is to release data over that is from data from 2 days and not from one single day. Caught on camera, a confrontation over a mask gets ugly between a man and a security guard at a local home improvement store.
It happened at the Menards on Middle Belt in Livonia. The man says he was trying to explain why he couldn't wear a mask when he was taken down by security. Local 4 defender Sean Lay joins us live. Sean, he says he now has some serious injuries.
Says his leg is broken. It's caught on camera. We'll show you, Kimberly. Here's the deal. His name is Stephen Blake. Says he was walking into Menards and was trying to explain to the security guard his health issue about why he wasn't wearing a mask at that time. But look at the video. Things escalate quickly. That's Livonia police body camera video obtained by the local 4 defenders of Stephen Blake of Westland being placed into a wheelchair and taken to the hospital. Blake says his leg is broken and blames this takedown by this security guard working the gate at the Livonia Menards on August 8th. Blake says the guard told him he needed a mask, even pointing at the sign. Blake says he tried to explain that due to a health issue, he's exempt from wearing a mask, but he says he couldn't get a word in edgewise and says when the guard got in his face, he tried to get away from him.
His face shield pressed up against my face, and I instinctively went to push him away from me, but looks like I barely had my hands on him when he attacked me. And he didn't let up. He just attacked me. And in the midst of being attacked, my leg was broken.
The governor's executive order reads, if you can't physically wear a mask, a business can turn you away, but has to offer to get you items you want and bring them curbside. The guard told police that's what he told Blake. Blake says the guard never said that.
I would have left if he had told me that. I'm not going to trespass in someone's place if they don't want me there.
Tonight, Stephen Blake is the one who is charged with misdemeanor assault. Greg Roll is Blake's defense attorney. He says the guard was the aggressor.
Guy went overboard. No doubt about it.
All right, back here live. What's Menards have to say about this? We've been trying to reach their corporate office and media people and security people all day long. We've not yet heard back. We'll let you know when we hear what they have to say about what we just saw on camera there. Mr. Blake is, you just heard, he's the one charged with misdemeanor assault. He'll head to court on that charge in Livonia next week. Live tonight, Sean Lay, Local 4 Defenders.
And we'll be following it. Okay, Sean, thank you. Let's get a check of the weather now.
Ben Bailey joins us with a look at tonight's forecast and a trend toward warmer days. Ben?
Yeah, Devin and Kim, that number you see in the corner of your screen, that 58, that's going to be the coolest number that we have for the entire week. It all gets warmer from here. In fact, we'll be about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow afternoon, and it looks gorgeous out there. Get used to plenty of sun because we're going to see it. Air is dry. Current temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s across the area. And again, everybody sees improvement going into tomorrow. So comfortably crisp tonight as we sink down into the 40s by midnight. But the one thing that is not in the forecast is a drop of rain. Most of us stay completely dry. We'll show you how long that stretch is going to last and the latest on Hurricane Delta coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. His death was shocking, sparking outrage from nearly every parent who heard what happened.
6-year-old Tyrez Moore was shot execution style this past week. His body found along with his father's girlfriend's body. His father found in a burnt car. Now, since we first aired this story, people have been reaching out to the family, trying to help in any way possible. Victor Williams tells us now that a funeral director is lending a helping hand.
Well, this woman is not only the director at Haley Funeral Home, but she's also a mother. And when she heard about the terrible and unfortunate news of what happened to little Tyrez Moore, she knew she had to do something.
We want to be a place of healing. Closure is very important. Since I know that, I want to do what I can do to help them.
Which is why Haley Funeral Director Sarah Brown Dabai wanted to do what she could for the boy whose life was taken away after being shot in such a brutal way.
My mother instinct just kind of kicked in, and I wanted to help this family.
But it doesn't stop there. Sarah wants to help others by at least starting an uncomfortable discussion.
Death is unexpected. There is a financial aspect, and they're just not prepared. I want to get the conversation started so they can start talking at home with each other about what their wishes are.
And from the arrangement room to the preparing room, she wants to be with their clients and their families every step of the way for low rates, especially for those in need and a very uncertain time.
Because of the pandemic, we've seen a lot of deaths that were untimely, unexpected. Some people they just don't want to talk about it because of death anxiety, the whole fear.
And on our website, clickondetroit.com, we've included more details on how to get in touch with Haley Funeral Home. Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor. The impact of COVID-19 has a lot of families in our community struggling, and one Wayne County nonprofit is helping thousands more people than it normally does, and its leader worries about having enough money to help them all.
As Karen Drew explains, many programs lose money if everyone's not counted.
Food packages loaded onto trucks outside Atlas Whole Food in Detroit. Their final destination? Family kitchens across Wayne County.
Food by far has been our #1 request. Food. Second is utilities, gas, electric, and lights. And then the third one is housing assistance.
Louis Pisker is the CEO of Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency. He says the agency usually helps up to 35,000 people each year. But with the pandemic, the need is great.
We're going to far exceed 150,000. We are a safety net. We provide services for our most vulnerable residents, such as Head Start, food and nutrition programming, job training, financial literacy programs, housing supports, homeless services.
75% of the money Wayne Metro uses to provide those services comes from the federal government. The census helps determine how much money the nonprofit gets. If you don't take the time to be counted, that could have our neighbors hurting.
If you take a family of 4 that makes under $40,000 a year, if that family has 2 children, they might not get Head Start services. If one of them loses their job and they need some help with their rent, the funding might not be available to help them stay in their home.
COVID relief funding has helped keep services going this year, but Pisker worries about the years ahead.
If those dollars go down due to the fact that we lose dollars based upon formulas because our population has been undercounted, that's going to have a devastating effect to the region.
Filling out the census takes just about 10 minutes, but it affects us all for the next 10 years. You can do it online, on your phone, or by mail. Just head to census.gov. I'm Karen Drew. Back to you.
Okay, Karen, and don't delay. The deadline to fill out the census is October 31st.
All right, still to come, a big move for a startup business in Metro Detroit.
Yeah, the product they're selling that's about to appear on the shelves of the world's biggest retailer. And we're following breaking news from Maryland. That's where President Trump says he'd be leaving Walter Reed Hospital at 6:30. This is, again, a live look at Marine One as it is approaching the hospital there. We are closely monitoring the situation, and we'll bring you more as soon as we get it. Again, the president expected to be released from the hospital in about 20 minutes from now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.